All right, today we're doing wheel bearings and struts on a 99 Cadillac Deville with the Northstar. My favorite. Let's get started. The spindles, they're aluminum, so you got to kind of be careful with them. I'm gonna go ahead, we're gonna take this tie rod end loose here, and you're not able to smack it like you normally can on one with a forged cast iron spindle. You've got to, this one you need to use a pickle fork, otherwise you'll mushroom this out, and that's no bueno. There. Okay, gonna need to use your pickle fork in order to release that. Be careful of the boot. Okay. Tie rod end loose. Now we're on to the brake components we need to remove. Okay, what we're going to start with, we're just going to pull the whole caliper and bracket off in one shot. The castle nut was 17 millimeter, and I believe those are 15. For the bolts back on the caliper bracket. Okay. Now we're loose. Should be able. Take a big screwdriver, pry this off here. So we're gonna let that dangle for 1 second. Pull off your rotor. Okay. Now what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and take our big screwdriver. Oh, never mind. We're going to disconnect our ABS here, and then we've got another 10 millimeter here, and then that will release the ABS line so it's free. You got this bracket's going to have to come off here. So she was stuck on there. All right, you're going to remove that ABS bracket, and now you're going to remove the brake line bracket, and that's going to free it up for it to go ahead and drop on down. All right, now what we're going to do, take our little homemade hangers here, and we're going to hang up this caliper so it's not just putting all its weight dead on the brake hose. Now, all right, so we're free there. We're free there. Now we got axle nut. Okay, loose there. Next, we're going to attempt sway bar, see if it don't just sit there and spin. Hopefully it comes right off. Looky there. Now we're going to put the nut back on all the way. And we're going to take the BFH and we're going to lightly tap it till it comes loose. Stop. We're getting new sway bar links too. Those are toast. Now, strut bolts. These are 24. Those are pinned in there so they're not going to spin on you. Now what you got to do is come back, put your nuts back on, because you're going to have to smack them too. Get your trusty BFH. Okay. That got me right on the ankle. All right, so now we're in. Just gonna push in towards the center of the vehicle. Boom, we're loose. Okay, now we just gotta work it. There we go. You gotta be careful not to pull your CV axle apart when you do this part, so you're going to want to be shoving on it while you're pulling that spindle out. There we go. There we are. It's out of the way. Now what we're going to do, it gets nice access to your bearing there, so we're going to go ahead and do the bearing now. Alright. can see that pretty good. We're gonna say that was a 13 on the bearing bolts. We're gonna take them loose with the gun. Got 3 of them, so. All right, so we're all loose there. Now we're going to try to coax this bearing out. Came right out. You're gonna separate your little guard here for the ABS. There we go. Drop it down there. This bearing. And reverse order. New bearing. Retainer. It's gonna go just like that. It's gonna go just like. Now if you notice here on these old strut, this bottom hole is elongated. That's for the alignment. That's for setting your camber right here. So you can see where the bolt head was, or the flange of the nut, and the same on the other side. I always try to just put it back where it was, and you should be close for the alignment. Now for the top, you've got your bolts for the top of the strut. I'm going to show you on the other side. Well, now here, I'm going to go ahead. This has to come off. The strut bar, it'll have to come off. So I already did that. So, but if you notice, these are slotted as well. That's for your caster when you do the alignment. I usually come, I'll take a Sharpie and I'll mark them where this front stud is. That way these aren't going to move too much, because this is slotted and this is slotted. This is just a regular hole. You would have to slot this hole for this thing to move a whole bunch. So I go ahead and mark them anyway, because it will move a little bit. And if you have to make a big adjustment on your caster, you will need to pull this out, drop your strut out, and slot this just like these are, with a cutoff tool or drill or whatever. All right, now for the strut. I'm gonna go ahead and drop it, pull it out, and we'll get the new one in. Okay, on this one, you're gonna want somebody to put nuts on it while you shove the strut up through there. I'll grab my brother, we're gonna get this up in there. All right, here we go. Yay. Thanks, William. All right. That's just reassembly in reverse order. I'm still waiting for the parts house to bring me my swaybar links. So for now, we're going to take a break till they show up. I'm going to go ahead and throw this back together. It's just reverse order of the removal. Your spindle nut, your axle nut socket is, because I've been telling you all the sizes here. It is a 34 millimeter. So that ought to cover you for everything. And don't forget your brackets on either side here. Your brake line bracket, your ABS bracket, and don't forget to reroute your ABS line back up, snap it in, and then we'll get to the axle nut socket last. I decided it's probably a good idea to go ahead and just show the installation on this. So we're going to go ahead and start with our axle. Remember, you don't want to pull that sucker too far, because you will pull it out. You don't want to do that. Okay, now we're in there. Kind of jockey it. That axle will shove in when it's ready. There we go. All right, now what we're going to do is go ahead and get these started back through. Strut bolts. Get them going back through. We'll have to kind of push down, jockey that into position. And then remember where we were on our slot for the alignment. Okay, I just take a hammer. As long as you're through there, it don't matter. Now, since we're on the bottom here for the slot, that means all the way in is going to be all the way out on camber. So we're going to want to tighten this one first. Get it snug where we can move this bottom where we want it. Wrong one. All right. Okay, there we go. Oops, sorry about that. Okay. I might have dinged one of the edges, hammering it on there, but that'll take care of it right there. Now, we're going to suck it on down there. Alright, now we're going to back it back off. Okay, now that ought to make getting this into position a lot easier. Then you take your hammer, smack it in. Oh, there we go. All right, we're gonna, now it's kind of loose a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and run this on down. I'm going to try to shove on that while I hit it with the impact. take a look at. That's pretty, see, that's pretty dang close where it was, right there. I'm gonna take it on in. Boom. There we go. Now this, you can torque your axle nut if you would like. I've been doing this so long, I just use the gun. And I know a lot of you are gonna go, yeah, you're gonna blow your bearings. Well, no, I'm not, because I've been doing this a long time. So, here we go. There you go. Done dilly. Now you'll put your rotor back on, the brakes back on, and I'm still waiting for this puppy. So I'm gonna go ahead and give them a call and find out where we're at on those. Come back, I'll show you the removal and install on those, because they can be fun. But I was going to use the plasma cutter on this backside because it's kind of hard to get to, and I don't like things that are hard to get to. I just plasma cut that nut stud off that swaybar link, and it'll come right out, and that way I don't have to sit there and fight going backwards, because the nut's facing that way and it's right up against the frame, and I just don't feel like messing with it. So I make life easy on me whenever possible. So I'm gonna wait till I get the new swaybar links before I cut anything, in case for some reason I can't get the right part, because I had real trouble trying to find these. I had to order them and they had to come out of Dallas. So before I cut anything, I want to get them in my hands, make sure they're right, and when I establish that they are, I'll come back in here and then I'll cut that bolt and that stud out of here, and this will come right out. How many of you caught that? What I'm referring to is I had installed this ABS clip holder over here, so I wasn't paying attention. Enough. So anyway, I had to pull it, reposition it. I mean, that's one of those things you're gonna find, but it ain't gonna go out the door like that. There's no way, because your bracket's here. It won't let your line wouldn't reach over here. So anyways, very interesting. Guess I was worried about the camera more than I was worried about trying to fix this thing. But she's good now. I went over everything real good. So we're back solid. And now we're still playing the waiting game for that dude. When they get here, we'll resume. Okay, to make your life easier, you're gonna want a plasma cutter or a torch or something to cut that bottom stud on the swaybar links. On something this old, you don't want to fight it, and it will fight you. You just blast that end off of it, and it come right out, and then you go ahead. I went ahead and got these installed here. These come with little blocks that stand off up here, but I'll go ahead and continue with the putting back together of this thing, and then we will be done. There we go, and then I won't show the bottom part of it, but you get the gist of it. Everything goes back together. That'll go there. Put your rotor back on, and your brake caliper, it'll slide back on. And that's how you do the bearings and the struts and sway bar links on these particular vehicles. I'm Jason with On-Site Auto OKC. I'll bring you some more videos as I come across them, which will be every day. Thanks for watching. All right, thanks for watching this video. Hit the like and subscribe button. It helps my channel, and it also notifies you of the next repair video that I put out, which you may need. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video.